So when I made a decision to give up on the SSO story, I was not quite sure what to do about all the half-baked theories that I had lying around. At first I considered making a video where I just dumped all the theories on you, but then I realized that some of the theories are bigger and more fleshed out than others. So I figured, hey, why not just present it as a mystery rather than a theory? Because what I'm about to talk about today is a big mystery to me and probably to some other players as well. Today we're discussing what really happened to Ronnie Bob Summers. So we all know them, Marley, Barney, Carney and Courtney, the 4 siblings that live in Silverglade. You know, we have a couple of quests with them in the beginning of the game where we help them out on their farms and stuff, and we help Courtney become a chef. But during some of these quests, they say something particularly interesting about their family history that have really caught my attention. During the quest where we search for a new chef at the Silverglade Manor, we go through all 4 of the Summer siblings, and they all bring up their father. But the stories don't align. We first talk to Carney, who says that his father passed away 8 years ago from a heart attack. We then go on to Barney, who explained that he died 15 years ago. When we talk to Marley, he says he died 1 year ago. And then finally, Courtney says that he never died at all. How is it possible that these 4 siblings have no idea when or if their father passed away? When I've watched Let's Plays of this, I have noticed that every single person who actually reads this dialogue thinks it's really weird. Of course, this might as well just be something that they did for comic relief, but regardless, we don't really know what really happened to his father. Or do we? When these quests came out, SSO was still said to be the continuation of the original games, and their father is actually a character from the original games. Courtney says you can't kill off Ronnie Bob Summers that easily. Ronnie Bob Summers, aka this guy from Star Stable The Spring Riders. They never had to specify who their father is, but they did. The comic effect would have worked just fine with an unknown father who we never would have met anyway if he's dead or gone from the story. But they still decided to slip in this last sentence like, oh, by the way, their father is this one guy from the Spring Riders. But even if this is just an Easter egg for older players, Ronnie Bob Summers was a very weird choice as their father. Not only does he live in a completely different part of Jorvik than his children do, but get this, he has a baby. He is the single father of an infant child named Joseph, and never once has this baby boy been mentioned in SSO. And equally, his older siblings were never mentioned in the Spring Riders. So why did they pick him out of all people, when there are other characters in the Star Stable games who use the same model, like Barnabas from the Valedale Millhouse, and George Goodlife, who literally lives by Alcilo in the Silverglade-ish area? Why did they specify that, hey, it's this guy, specifically? I usually don't consider the original Star Stable games very canon, but this is kind of different, because this is the only place we've ever seen Ronnie Bob Summers. So in a way, the Spring Riders is the source material for this family. I don't know, I just found this a very, very strange choice, and as a theorist and a story fanatic, I just couldn't let it go. Because no matter how you look at it, it's canon. It's there, it's in the story, it's still happening. I replayed the game some time ago, a couple of months ago, and it's still there. Marley, Barney, Carney and Courtney have no idea when or if their father died. And their father is Ronnie Bob Summers, who you met in the Spring Riders. So that's kind of what the mystery is about anyway. As for what my theories are, I did think of a couple of possibilities, but I couldn't find sufficient evidence to present it as a finished theory. But it is still a hypothesis that I have about all of this. So what I believe could have happened to Ronnie Bob Summers is that he disappeared, either by faking his own death or simply just leaving. The question here is how much his children know about this. I think it's possible that he told his children that he was leaving, but he didn't want anyone to know where he was going. So that's why they have vastly different explanations for what happened to him. The brothers all make up this story that he died, but they obviously haven't talked together because they all make out different times of death. Courtney takes a different approach by saying that he's alive but not telling us about his whereabouts. Or if he just disappeared without saying anything, then all the siblings have different impressions about whether or not he's still alive and when he died and all of that. And since there's no official date of death, they all get their explanations mixed up. As for why he left, I can imagine that he just wanted a fresh start. But whatever led him out of Silverglade, he ended up in Bay Ridge, and he eventually met someone and had his son Joseph. And it looks like in the Spring Riders that he's a single father, so I'm gonna assume that his new wife or the mother of his child passed away or left. I would honestly be really curious to hear an explanation for all of this and a continuation of this whole story. But I don't think they're gonna touch this again. I think this is long gone, a thing of the past. That seems to be a common theme in SSO, you know, you make quests and then you never revisit them. But anyway, that would be my kind of half-baked theory on what happened to Ronnie Bob Summers. There's gonna be another video like next week or the week after where I drop all the headcanons and hints and stuff that I've collected throughout the years and I haven't been able to use for anything. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, feel free to leave some comments down below about what you think about this theory and if you have some other theories about what might have happened to Ronnie Bob Summers. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, if you did, I'll see you around. Bye!